Here we have the 2015 Lexus IS 350 F Sport. Today I'm going to show you around this car and I'm also going to give it a test drive. But before that, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to my channel to see more updates, and also hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Let's start with the front of the IS 350 F Sport. Modern Lexuses already have these spindle grills as common, but back in 2015, only if you get the F Sport for the IS will you get this big spindle grill. If not, it's only going to be around halfway there. Next thing here, as an F Sport model, you have a vent down here in lieu of your fog lamps. Then as you move on over here to the top, you'll see that the headlamps are separate from the DRLs. These are LEDs too, by the way. When we move on over here to the side, you can see that there is an F Sport badge. That's an indication that it is an F Sport model. And you also get these 225 4018s gray metallic rims. They look pretty nice on this car. Down here to the side, you can see that there's this like really nice line. It just curves up like that. Flows really nice. Moving on over to the back, these lights pretty much just wrap around like that. But what's cool about the IS is that this is your only reverse light. So when you put the car in the reverse, this one turns white, but this one doesn't. At first I thought that, is that a bulb broken? No, apparently the left side, the driver's side, is only for your fog lamps. As you open it up, the button is actually here to the side, not in the middle. Open that up and you have this trunk that's, it's not big at all, but I wouldn't call it small either. You do have 60/40 folding rear seats and there is a lock and unlock button, but what's annoying is that there's no lever to pull here. You have to go all the way around and pull it from the front. Here, I wouldn't open it anymore because there's a couple of things, but you don't have a full-size spare tire, only a donut. The car has a dual exhaust as standard, but the owner replaced them with these Borla catback exhaust, and this sounds pretty good. If you know anything about Toyotas and Lexuses, is that for the past around decade or so, they've been using the same 2GR engine in their cars, the 3.5 liter V6, and this is no exception. So under the hood of the IS 350 F Sport, you have this slightly modified, more high-performance version with 2GR engine, just called the 2GR FSE, which produces 306 horsepower and 375 Newton meters of torque. As you can see, this also gets this upgraded F Sport intake package, and this engine even has like an intake sound generator, which pretty much channels the sound of the engine towards the cabin. That way, it's all natural. None of that BMW magic fake exhaust pumping through your speakers thing. This is the real deal, and it's naturally aspirated too. So here inside the IS 350 F Sport, first let's check the thud of the door. That sounds really great. Even for a Japanese car, that's pretty good. Let's go and start it up. So put your foot on the brake, push button start. As you can see, the steering wheel goes back to the last position you set it in before you turn the car off. Turn on the AC. So over here, the first thing you'll notice is just how nice and premium the materials are. It feels more like a cockpit in here than just a general cabin. So over here, it's all soft touch material. This is covered in leather. This one, it's a weird feeling material, but it is rather soft. Same thing here with the side. This one too, where your knees hit, it's also pretty soft. Now, there are still a couple of areas that you can touch that are a bit hard. So like this one, that's hard touch plastic. This one's also slightly cheap feeling. But aside from that, overall, the cabin is very, very nice in this car. Now, here in the center, you have this gauge that it actually turns red when you rev the car and it reaches almost red line. Just like that. And that entire thing turns red. That's pretty cool. It's very similar to an LFA, and what's another thing similar that's to the LFA is that once you press this button, this entire bezel just slides forward, and that's not an LCD thing. It's a physical bezel that actually moves. It's like it's on a rail. It's pretty cool. Press it again, it goes back. The steering wheel, nice, soft, and it's very small as well. It is also electrically adjustable, so 4-way. Then you also have paddle shifters made out of, it's like plastic, but high quality plastic. Now we move on over to the infotainment system. The infotainment in this car, although the screen looks rather good, it's a bit hard to use. This thing is just, it's very hard to use while you're driving. I much prefer the iDrive in BMWs or the command system in Mercedes-Benzes. You do get a reverse sensor. It's like that. It's not the clearest, but as with most Lexuses, what's cool about this car is that when you put the car into reverse, in most cars, only the passenger side mirror goes down. But for this one, both sides go down so you see the curb better. Put it back like that. Now, we move on over to cubby. So for this car, you have this cubby over here. It's not exactly that deep. You have an aux port and a USB port there, but you don't really need it because this car has Bluetooth audio. And you have 2 cup holders. Moving on over here, there is this tiny glove box. I'm not sure what you can place in there, but yeah, at least you have that there. Now for the AC system. The AC system in this car is like incredibly cold. What's annoying with this one is that despite it having physical buttons, unlike a lot of its competitors, the newer ones, this does not have physical buttons for the temperature. So you have to like slide your finger over this. While it looks very cool, it's just not great while you're driving. It's a bit hard to use it. Aside from that, you got cooled seats. I know in the North American models you get heated and cooled seats, but here in the Philippines we only get cooled seats, which is all you need. Turn that off right now. Now over here you have a sunroof, and it's not exactly big, but for a car this size, I think this is adequate. 2 cool things about this Lexus here in the interior. First, you have this clock that says Lexus on it, and it's an analog looking clock with like silver dials. Very cool. Next thing is, as long as you have the headlights on, if you pull the windshield washer thing, it actually sprays the headlamps as well. And the headlamp washers are nice and chrome as well. Pretty cool. Here at the back of the IS, let's check the third of the door. Wow, I'm really impressed with this car. So here at the back, seating behind my driving position, there is actually so much more legroom than I thought. It's definitely more than, let's say, BMW E93 series or a BMW F30 3 series. I didn't expect that much, thinking that this is a smaller sedan, but it's actually very close to what you get in an ES, at least with the way I set my driving position, but I'm sure taller adults will have a little bit of a struggle here. Now, materials here, they're very similar to the front, although you do feel that tiny difference in quality. Although it is also soft touch, it isn't as soft as the front. You don't have that much toys in here, so you only got 2 air vents, and you get this armrest. These armrests, the leather on this is incredibly soft. You get cup holders as well that pops out like that. Now, can you carry 3 people here? Not happening. So you got this transmission tunnel that's ridiculously high. I mean, if you look at that, this is my leg, and it reaches halfway up my leg. So if I do sit here, although the although the footwells are rather large, and sure you can put your feet there, but I mean, look at this seat. Look how high the seat is. I'm only 5'6", but look at the headroom I have, or the lack thereof. There's almost no headroom in here. So no, it's not gonna happen. If you want a car to be able to seat 3 adults, maybe you should go for the ES instead. 2015 Lexus IS 350 F Sport. The thing about this car is that if you're used to driving a 3 Series like an F30 BMW, then you'll feel very much at home with this car. It's very similar in terms of driving feel, although the 3 Series, it is a bit tighter. The suspension, it's almost equally as tight. However, the steering feel in the 3 Series is just more precise. It's much more direct. And it also gives you way more feedback. So that's really the main difference. But aside from that, they feel very similar. The power figures as well, as long as you get anything more than like a 320i, it should feel roughly the same too if you get the V6 models. Aside from that, this car, it really has a naturally aspirated V6 engine, which is very good, because that's something that you barely get from most of its competitors nowadays. It has 306 horsepower, which is more than enough, and it goes from 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds, which I shall demonstrate in a while. Do note that we currently have around 3 people in the car, so it will hamper the speed a little bit. Okay, let's put the car into sport mode, and we're just gonna launch it from here. Okay, I'll step on the brake, then we'll just launch it. Oh, okay, traction control. That is so fast. That's really good. It sounds great. The Sport exhaust is amazing too. It's just a great car overall. One more. Yeah, that's 100 right there. 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds. I definitely don't doubt the figures that Lexus has given us. When you do want to drive this more sedately on the daily drive, you can definitely do it. The comfort setting of the suspension, it's alright if you put it in eco mode. The steering to it becomes nice and light. Put it in normal mode and it feels very normal. It's not that heavy, but if you put it in sport mode, it does get a little heavier and a little more direct. However, the suspension, although it adjusts and makes it more sport-oriented, it's not enough to put you off from daily driving it. It's still very much comfortable. It's still very much drivable. If you're used to driving something like the Lexus ES, then this will definitely feel way more uncomfortable. However, again, it's not enough to put you off. It's still a very, very good, comfortable car for daily drive. Now, if you want to drive this a bit faster, I noted that in the engine portion of this, that this has like an intake sound generator, which just channels all that engine sound into the cabin, and you'll definitely feel it in here. It's a very, very natural sound, plus the fact that it's a naturally aspirated engine. So you don't get any of that fake sound that BMW tries to pump into you through the speakers. No, no, no. Lexus wouldn't do that. The Japanese have too much honor to do that. This is definitely a much better sounding car, plus that Borla exhaust that we got on this car. Road noise in this car, you can barely hear it. It is a bit louder than like a C-Class, however. Wind noise, there's a little bit of wind noise I hear from these door-mounted side mirrors, but aside from that, it's a very, very quiet car. The seats are very comfortable for this F Sport model. You get these sport seats, and while they are a bit tight, that's just enough to hold you in place, but I wouldn't call it uncomfortable in any way. If you do corner, it really holds you in place. That's a very good seating system. While you're driving this car, one annoying thing is this infotainment system. So this generation IS had this weird touchpad thingy that you have to move around, and frankly, it's not that easy to use. You're much better off with BMW's iDrive or even Mercedes Command, which isn't exactly the best. However, that is still better than this system. The newer Lexuses, they get the newer IS rather, they have a touchscreen, but this one doesn't get it yet. And that would really be a welcome addition because it's really pretty hard to use this. The next thing aside from that is this temperature gauge that is touch sensitive. So you really do have to kind of take your eyes off the road if you want to adjust your temperature setting. And like here in Manila, we would really use that a lot. But hey, at least you get your physical fan speed button, which is a good trade-off, I guess. That's all you have, and that's fine. So brand new, this one cost around 3.08 million, I believe. And today you can pick up a 2015 model for around 1.6 million pesos with relatively low miles. I'm talking about less than 30,000 kilometers on it. And should you get this car? Well, if you're looking for a compact sedan that you can easily throw around corners, you want to feel like a BMW 3 Series without having to go through all the headache of a European car, then this car is definitely the way to go. However, if you want to ferry around passengers a lot, then perhaps you should look at an ES350 instead. That car is a lot wider. It's less nimble though, given its size, and that is a front-wheel drive car after all. And you have to take into consideration that this car holds value way better than an ES. If you look at the market for a comparative year ES, that car has dropped in value so much more. If you like this video, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more car reviews.